individual drivers. You can start the browsers like this. Okay. And by the end of the class, I told you that if you have got different browsers and different drivers for every browser, then the way you write the code in Firefox, will it be different than the way you write the code on Edge or Chrome? Okay. What I mean by saying this is that I'll just demonstrate that day 03. Okay. Suppose I have to write a single script which runs on multiple browsers. Okay, suppose the problem is that in Selenium, you want to implement multiple browsers and you want to run a single script on the multiple browsers. Basically, if I define the browser name as say Chrome, then whatever script you are writing should be running on Chrome. If I change this browser to say Mozilla, then the scripts should be running on Mozilla. Okay, a simple general logic says that you can put an if statement that if browser name is equal to Chrome, and in that case, you launch the Chrome browser and take it to some website, Microsoft.com. Okay, you'll have to include the Selenium jars in this project as well. Whichever project you create, you will have to include the Selenium jars in that particular project. Okay, so this is the Chrome driver, right? Then can put an else statement. Else if the browser is equal to Mozilla, then you can launch the Firefox driver and take it to the website. Suppose the website we want to go is Microsoft.com. Okay. And similarly, you can have the else if statement for Edge. All right. So you can go to Edge driver. Okay. This thing will work. Of course, this will work, but is this the right solution? If I have my browser as Mozilla, it will, if I run this code, this is going to launch Firefox. And it's going to take Firefox to the Microsoft website for sure. Okay, fine. And if I change this to Chrome, this is going to launch Chrome and will take Chrome to Microsoft website. That is fine, that is good. But what if I want to click on a link on the website? So I'll have to write the code to click separately on Chrome, and I'll have to write the code to click separately on Firefox and separately on Edge. This is not what we wanted. We wanted, we don't want to write separate script for every browser. Okay, so the answer to this problem comes up from the concept of interfaces. All right, Look, guys, I know there will be a lot of questions in your mind right now as beginners. Like after the class, also people were asking me yesterday. Just be with me in another 10 classes, 11, 12 classes. Lots of things will be clear to you. Okay, just concentrate on what I am telling you. You will be able to follow everything in a very genuine manner. Okay, so out here, I'll cover the concept of interfaces now. So now you till now we have been creating a class. Now I'll create an interface. Now what is an interface? Interface is something which gives you an idea about the system. Okay. For example, if you buy a book, just by looking at the cover of the book, you understand that what it is about. All right. So it gives you an idea, right? Similarly, this is the website, the official website of Selenium. This website gives you an idea that what Selenium is, but how actually it works, you really don't know. Okay. So interface is something which gives you an idea about the system. And similarly, in Java, we have got interfaces. All right. For example, if I'll create an interface, okay, and um, I'll call it as I'll call it as the guys. Just a minute. Somebody from the class is calling me. I think he's not able to join the meeting. Just hold on. Just 1 minute. Hello. Yeah, everyone. Sorry. So out here we will be creating an interface by the name, say, um, you can choose anything. Let's call as phone again. I'll create the phone interface. All right. And what are the features of an interface? Right. You can make a call from a phone number, right? You can message from a phone number. So these are the usages of the interface. And you don't have the method bodies in the interface. You just put up the methods and their names just like that in the interface so that if a third person is looking at the interface, he is able to understand that what are the features provided by the phone in basically what are the features of a phone. All right. And suppose if I have another class named as say Google phone. So this Google phone is a phone basically, and it has to acquire all the features of the phone. So what we do is that in Java, we write this class implements the phone interface. When a class is implementing an interface, it is mandatory for the class to implement all the functions of the interface. Okay, that is why you are getting an error over here. You have to implement all the undefined functions of the interface in the class. You move the mouse over this error and select add unimplemented methods. All right. And then you will have these two methods coming up, call method and the message method. Right, with the at the rate override annotation, this is known as an annotation. You can remove it, there will be no error. This annotation basically tells the user that fine, this function is being implemented from this particular interface. It's just like a symbol, you can say that it is coming up from this particular interface. If I remove even one of the methods, you will get an error. Okay, you will get an error. So it is mandatory for a class to implement all the methods in case you are implementing an interface. So out here, I can simply write and messaging from Google phone, calling from Google phone. And similarly, I can create a new class as a different phone, right? Say uh, Samsung phone, right? And Samsung phone, I'm not keeping the main method, hold on. It will also implement the phone interface. And it will also have to, you move the mouse over the error and select add unimplemented methods. So you will get these two methods, right? And you can put same SOP over here. Okay, calling from Samsung phone, messaging from Samsung phone, and this is the Google phone. So basically what I did was I made an interface, the phone interface, and I had two classes which were implementing the interface. All right. So one was Google phone and the other one was Samsung phone. Right. What is the use of this system? I could had, never made this interface. I could had simply made these two classes. Why did I make the interface? Well, I made the interface because, first of all, if more phone classes come tomorrow, then all the phone classes will be implementing the phone interface. And all the phone classes will have same function names. Okay, so if a layman he joins your project and he looks at the phone interface, he will come to know that fine, whatever classes are implementing the phone interface will certainly have these two functions for sure. So comprehending the project or understanding the project becomes easy. It gives a kind of discipline to the project. Okay, that is, whatever new classes you are implementing will have the same function names in them. The implementation can vary. Okay, the implementation of Google phone of the call function can vary, and Samsung phone can implement the call function in its own manner. Okay, but the name of the functions, they remain the same. All right. So one usage of interface is that the implementing classes have same function names. All right. Now, if you come over to Selenium and if you go to the API docs, downloads and API docs, and you switch over to the frames view, then whatever is written in italics is an interface. Okay. Whatever is written in italics is an interface. For example, if you scroll down, yesterday I told you, you will find something written over here like WebDriver. WebDriver is the interface, is an interface. Technically, WebDriver is an interface inside Selenium. It is the starting point of the architecture of Selenium. It is an interface. All right. So if anybody is asking you that what is WebDriver, technically WebDriver is basically an interface. And the classes which we studied yesterday, Chrome driver, Edge driver, Firefox driver, okay, all these classes, Safari driver, remote web driver class is there to run the test cases parallelly when you are running using Selenium Grid. We will also study this later on. So all the driver classes basically are implementing this web driver interface. And this WebDriver interface has got some very good functions. This WebDriver interface is equivalent to the phone interface. Okay, and it's got very good functions which can help you interact with the browsers, like close the browser. There is a function known as find element, which will help you find element on the browser. Okay, get the title of the browser, navigate on the browser. For example, if you look at the function get title, this will get the title of the current page. And all the
Ashish,
yes,
yesterday we called the only WebDriver get method only, right?
yes,
All functionalities we are not using, but we didn't face any errors. Whatever today we faced, that, like
we did not face any error today.
we passed the two methods, right? Here message and call. For call, only we can call the call method. Yeah, if you call only call method without message, then we face the error, right? Here
No,
interface, yeah,
it is
here,
like if we are not implementing it, we are not
yeah.
calling, I am implementing this function. Calling and implementation are different. This is a class. Okay, in this class, I have got two functions. They are present in this class. If I have to call them, I will have to create a new class known as suppose test phone, and I'll create a main function in it. And suppose inside this, I create the object of Samsung phone. Then this is calling. I can call the function like s1.call, s1.message. Okay.
Okay, here
I
not need all. Okay, I understood.
okay. Yeah. And similarly, I can create the object of Google phone and call the functions. Right. I can create the objects of the respective classes and call the functions. They will be called. Okay, the only thing is that the function names they are same. The implementation for Samsung is different for call function and for Google phone is different. But both the classes are implementing the phone interface, so both of them will have the same function names. And similarly in WebDriver interface is there. Okay, and this interface has got these implementing classes. All right. And these implementing classes have the same function names like close, get title, navigate, quit. Okay. So the function names in all the implementing classes will be the same. Okay. For example, if I open my multiple browsers after going to Microsoft.com, if I want to get the title of the page on Chrome driver, I'll have to write Chrome driver dot get title. Get function is also same in all the three driver classes, which takes you to Microsoft.com. And similarly, if I want to go print the title on Firefox, I'll have to write Firefox driver dot get title. And for Edge driver dot get title. So this way, if I run the script, whether I'm running on Chrome or on Firefox or on any other driver, basically I'm using any driver. So I will get the right output. See that it's printing the title of the web page. So basically the function names in Chrome driver and Firefox driver and Edge driver over here will be the same. Okay, but does this solve our problem? One of the usages of interface, I told you that interfaces implementing classes have the same function names. And we saw that all the three drivers have the same function names, but does this solve the problem that if I'm writing Chrome over here, then a single script should be written? No, it doesn't, because still I have to write separate piece of code for every browser to print the title. Okay. So there is another usage of interface, which I'm going to tell you now. And listen to this carefully because people they get confused at times because it's a little tricky, right? So let's come over to the phone interface. It's got two functions and these are out here. I've created objects of Samsung phone, Google phone, and I was running. Now, what if I create the object of the interface? All right, if I create the object of the interface, it makes no sense. Interface is abstract, it is incomplete. It's just got the definitions. Okay, the declare, you just declare, not exactly definition, you just declare the functions. So you will get an error. You can create a reference, but you cannot create the object of the interface. It's illegal. Right. Moreover, if suppose a Google phone has a feature which is only present in Google phone, right? For example, Google Maps. Suppose Google Maps is only coming in Google phone. So you will have a function inside Google phone by the name Google Maps, right? And you can print something inside it, right? So this is the function which is proprietary to Google phone. This is a function which is not coming from the interface. So of course, when you create the object of Google phone, you can call this function. But you cannot, of course, call this function from Samsung because, of course, it's not there inside this class. Pretty simple, right? So we have two different classes implementing the phone interface. And a class can also have its own proprietary functions, which are not coming from the interface. But if it is implementing an interface, it will have to implement all the functions from the interface. Apart from that, it can have its own functions. All right. Now, if I create the object in a different way, if I write phone p1 equals to new phone. Now this line and this line are different. Out here, I have got the interface reference pointing towards the class which is implementing the interface. The reference is of the phone interface pointing towards the class implementing the interface. Out here, the reference was of the class itself. So when you create the object like this and this, what is the difference? The difference is that if I create the object like this, I can only access the functions in Google phone which are coming from the phone interface. I can write p1.call. I can write p1.message, but I cannot write p1.google maps. It will give me an error. All right, so you cannot do this. When you run this, you see it is calling the functions from the class, and these are the functions coming from the interface. So if you are creating object with the help of interface reference, you can only call the functions which are coming from the interface in the class. So what is the use of writing this line over this? And how will it solve our problem of multiple browsers? That is, a single script has to be written to run on multiple browsers. Okay, so let's come over to that. I can also write, say, interface reference phone P2 equals to new Samsung phone. Let me just put a demarcating line over here. So whatever are the functions in the phone interface and implemented in the Samsung phone can be called with P2. I can call P2 dot call. So this is going to print calling from Samsung phone. Now here comes the twist. On the next line, I can make P2 point towards Google phone. So same reference is first pointing towards Samsung phone, and the same reference is now pointing towards Google phone. If I write p2.call again, this will call the call function from Google phone. And this is calling call function from the Samsung phone. If I run this, you see that? So interface reference, I can move from one implementing class to the another implementing class object. P2 was first pointing towards Samsung phone, and now I can make P2 point towards Google phone. And then I can also write like this. 3 equals to say null. This means that P3 is a reference which is not pointing anywhere. And based on my choice, I can make P3 point towards new Samsung phone, or I can make P3 point towards new Google phone. Completely my choice. Right. So when it is pointing towards Samsung phone, if I call any function like message, so it will call the message function in Samsung phone, and over here message will call the function in Google phone. You see that? Right? So this is the good thing. This is the advantage of interface. This is the second advantage of the interface. How is it going to help us? Right. Till now we have created the objects like this. For Chrome driver, we are creating the object like this. Or for Firefox driver, we are creating the object like this. Right. Edge driver. We know that from the documentation that all these driver classes are implementing the WebDriver interface. Okay, all these drivers are implementing the WebDriver interface. So I can also write like this: WebDriver D1 equals to new Chrome driver. The interface reference pointing towards the class implementing the interface. Or instead of creating objects like this, we can create objects like this as well. The interface reference equals to new class which is implementing the interface. The advantage with this is that the same advantage, the way I had written the code over here, I can declare my web driver, say driver equals to null. And based on my choice, I can make driver point towards object of Chrome driver, or based on my choice, I can make driver point towards object of Firefox driver or Edge driver. It is my choice. So interface reference gives you the choice that to which browser driver or which driver you need to connect to. And that advantage we can take out here. So I'll just remove all this code and declare my web driver equals to null. Based on my choice, like if the browser name is Chrome, I will initialize driver to Chrome driver inside the if statement. If the browser name is Mozilla, initialize it to Firefox driver. If the browser name is Edge, initialize it to the edge driver. Okay. So when you run this code,
Is it
this launch,
applicable for classes also, Ashish?
pardon?
It's only for interfaces or classes also. This way we can create the
No, only
references.
for interfaces. You can have the different thing because multiple classes they can implement one interface. All these three classes are implementing the WebDriver interface. I can make, I cannot write edge driver equals to new Chrome driver. This is not legal. Okay.
Okay.
This is only for the implementing classes. All right. So this way you have this driver initializing. Once the driver is initialized, that is the browser has launched, you can fire the functions. All the driver classes have same functions. You can write driver dot get. Okay, and if you want to get the title of the page, you can write driver dot get title. So when you run this code, it's going to launch Chrome and take you to CNN. And on CNN, you can get the title of the web page. And similarly, you have got bbc.com. And when you run this, the same website will change. And if you want to change the browser, you just need to change the browser over here. And the same script will run on Mozilla. So you write a common piece of code. This piece of code written at the bottom is a common piece of code for all the browsers. See that it prints the title. And if you have to click on some link, you can click over here. So these are the two advantages of interface. One is that implementing classes have same function names, and the second advantage is that you can have dynamic handles. Okay, dynamic handles means that you can have one handle like we had the handle of the phone class. This you can say the handle or the reference of the phone class dynamically pointing towards different objects of the classes. Now, once you have launched the browser and you have reached the website, you have to interact with the elements on the website. All right. Now, how do you interact with the elements on the website? How do you write a script which can click on a link or type something in the text field, submit a form? We are going to look at that gradually. But before that, anybody having any questions in this till now, you can feel free to ask me.
I have one question. So,
Yeah,
so on the top of the, so you see the import all of those drivers, right? You didn't write them, but somehow it got imported. How did they come up there?
I delete this. There are three ways. Suppose there is a file in which no imports are there. So you can move the mouse over the imports and import them one by one. This is the way one. Or you can hit Control Shift O as in orange of the keyboard. All the imports will come up automatically. Control Shift O. And the third is that if suppose I am writing the code, how did they come in my case? If I write WebDriver, I write WEB and hit Control Spacebar. So it gives me all the options which start with this word. If I select the first option, WebDriver, it automatically writes it, also imports it.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so this is the thing. Sometimes you copy somebody else's code or you copy code from internet and you paste it over here and you have import errors, so you can hit Control Shift O of the keyboard and it comes up. Control space bar is for the completion. If I'm writing say CHR and hit Control space bar, it will give me all the classes starting with CHR. If I have a dot, for example, driver dot, if I place the cursor after the dot and hit Control space bar, it will give me all the functions which can be accessed um, with the driver. Okay. Otherwise, if you write driver dot, you get automatically the functions. Sometimes this list goes away and you want to bring it back. So you hit Control space bar. Okay. These are some shortcuts. If you want to rename a file in Eclipse, you hit F2 on the file and you can rename the file. And um, if you have a file like this file has got two functions, sometimes there are 100 functions in one file and you want to find out the functions, you hit Control O of the keyboard and you will get the list of all the function names. You can sort them by typing like this. So if I had many functions in this file, I could had, this is a very important thing, right? I could had retrieved them. Like, let me show you. These are very good Eclipse shortcuts. You should be knowing about them. I'll open a previous batch.
Ashish, can you please explain yesterday given questions, looping conditions?
I'll tell you. I want you to do it. Copy the
Thank
code
you.
inside Eclipse, try it. I'll have a class in coming days which will cover this
Okay.
as well.
Just this confusion of that looping condition. That's it.
Copy the code inside Eclipse and try to make the code in Eclipse. You'll come to know. Okay. So over here, I'll discuss it in coming days, all the exercises, but just apply your brains first on that, right? So for example, this is a file. This is a big file. And I don't know where are the functions. So you hit Control O and you will get list of all the functions which are there in the class. Okay. And sometimes you have a big project and you really don't know where is the file, right? And you're looking out for say test base class and you really don't know where this class is. You hit Control Shift T as in telephone of the keyboard and you can search for test B. If I just write, it will tell me that fine. In the entire workspace, test base is present at two locations. Right. So there are different things, right? First of all, to import everything, right? If I have all these imports missing, to import everything, you have got Control plus Shift plus O. Want to, or if you want an auto suggest after the word, Control space bar. Okay, auto suggest is Control space bar. All right, auto suggest for this as well as the names of the functions anywhere in any object. Okay, even over here in test phone, if I write G1 dot, it will tell me call and all some default functions are there. Okay, so it will give you the list. Call and message are the two which you want. And if you have find functions, a class that find the names of functions in a class, then Control plus O and find a file in workspace. Then the shortcut is Control plus Shift plus E, telephone. So if you hit this, you get this window open type and you can type the name of your file and you will see this multiple browsers. So this is the file and you can open it and always have these two arrows linked with editor clicked so that whichever file you're opening is getting highlighted on the left side. Okay, this helps a lot. Okay, now this was about interfaces. Okay, the next thing which I want to tell you is before I jump over to object identification is the concept of debugging as well as the concept of constructors in Java. Look, debugging is very helpful, especially when you are a beginner and you are writing a framework code or you are writing a complex script and you really don't know where the script is failing. So you can debug your program. Okay, in order to debug the program, you first have to introduce a breakpoint. Like on line number 18, the first line of our program, I will put a breakpoint and I can put a double click in front of it. All right, and you will see a dot and then you can run the program in debug mode. This is a small bug icon on the top left. You can click on it and run it in the debug mode and you can switch the perspective. So this will switch over to the debug mode and you'll see a window like this with a green mark. That means the program has stopped on this line. And then you can run the program line by line by hitting F6 of the keyboard. And you can actually see where the control is going. Okay, so debugging is really important. It can help you run the program at your own pace and you just need to put a breakpoint and hit F6 of the keyboard one by one. And when you are writing some script and all, it helps you a lot. See, the browser opens and then the control comes over here and you hit F6 again, F6 again. So now the browser will go to the website. Okay, I'll just terminate this. Right. Now you can see the real-time status of the variables in debugging. If I have say int I equals to 100 and on the next line I write I equals to I plus 200 and if I run it in the debug mode and hit the F6 of the keyboard, I will be able to see all the variables on the left side. See, Driver is null right now and I is equated to 100. And if I hit F6, I will become 300. You can also move the mouse over I and see the value of I at runtime. This is the advantage of debugging. That is, at runtime, you can see the status of your variables. The driver is right now null. If I run this line, driver will no longer be null. It will be equated to Firefox driver. And now if I move my mouse over driver, see it's written over here. The driver is still null. Hold on. Hold on. Let the browser launch. See, the browser has launched now and the driver has equated to Firefox driver. Okay, so at runtime, you can see the variable values. So in debugging, F6 can help you run line by line. You have to put a breakpoint by double clicking in front of the line and run in the debug mode. Okay, if you don't want to run line by line and if you just want to have a normal run, you hit F8 of the keyboard and the program will run normally. And if there is another breakpoint in the next lines, it will stop over there. Okay, F8 is line by line. Sorry, F8 is normal run. Sorry. Just want to no longer do the debugging, and if you want the program to run normally, you hit F8 of the keyboard. This thing helps a lot. When you are new, you really don't know where it is failing, what is happening. You can debug your programs. You can change the perspective. You can move back to the normal window. Okay, this is debugging window. If you want to go back to the normal window, you click on this open perspective and select Java default and your normal window will come up. Whenever you run the code in the debug mode, your perspective changes. All right, you switch over into the debug perspective. All right, suppose if I put a breakpoint over here and run in debug mode, so it will ask me to change the perspective. So the perspective will change. And to come back normally, you can select Java default. Right. So anybody with any questions? Anything? Constructors I'll take up tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah, Ashish, I know one of your videos I saw changing the values on the debug mode.
Yes, you can do that. I'll tell you in coming classes. You
Okay.
can do that. You can change the values in the debug. But generally we don't do it, but it is possible. Okay. So, right. Um,
Ashish, when we do the browser testing, like multiple, to see if a particular code is, or I mean, in real time, if they want to uh, test that, a particular application is compatible on every browser, do we do it using this interface? Uh,
yes.
do we code it with the interfaces?
Yes. We always use interfaces
Right, and
because yeah.
if you want to launch all three, say like I want to launch Edge, Chrome, and Mozilla at the same time, and run my test cases on all three browsers at the same time.
Look, parallel
How to do
execution is
that?
also possible. TestNG will be used in that. I haven't taught you TestNG as of now. Parallel execution of the test cases, you are basically talking that how to run one script parallelly on multiple browsers. You can
Right.
also do. I'll tell you in coming days.
Uh,
TestNG is used for that.
okay. And one basic question. We use the plus sign for concatenation, right? While we are printing something, or while we're printing a result. So do we use concatenate, I mean plus sign only after a string, and if you use it with the integers, it works
You
as
can use
just
it with
pickup.
anything. You can use it with anything.
So how do we differentiate? Like in your quiz, the first or second question is like 10 plus 20, and then plus Java, right? How do we differentiate if
Look,
it is?
if I'm writing 20 plus 10, and if
Mhm.
I'm running this, it will print 30.
Okay.
Oops, just a minute. If you want to comment multiple lines, you select them and hit Control/. Multiple lines will be commented. Okay. If I run this, this is going to print 30. But if I write like this, that is sum is, it is going to print 2010. The reason is this is a string. The execution starts from the left side. First, this number becomes part of the string, and then this number becomes part of the string. If I write the other way, 20 plus 10 is the sum. Then it's going to print 30 is the sum. The reason is that this is an integer. Integer, when it finds a plus sign, it adds into another integer. The execution is from left to right. So this part is executed first. So 20 becomes concatenated with a string, and then sum is 20 is the string, and then 10 is incorporated in between. Are you getting my point?
Yes, yes, I am.
So this is the thing.
If we have to print a value or a result kind of thing, like if I want to say print 30, giving 20
Yeah,
and
if
10.
I want to print 30 over here, then you'll have to put a bracket.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
Okay, it will print 30.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's it. All right. Anybody with any questions? Anything?
So the quiz that you gave yesterday is available like till over the weekend also, right?
I gave you the link. You can do it
Access.
any.
Okay.
The next class is on Monday morning Indian time, which is Sunday evening US time. Okay. Right. Because I think today is Friday. Yeah. Okay. So please do practice. I'll mail you the recording, and in the next class, I'll give you more quizzes or 2 more quizzes to do. That give the quizzes which I have made, they are not practical projects. Okay, but they will give you a very good insight into what Java is, how things work. When you write the code yourself, you'll come to know. It is not for your evaluation. You can copy the code inside Eclipse, try to see what is what, and it will give you a good insight into how things are in the world of object-oriented programming. Okay, so
Thanks, Ashish.
yeah, is anybody writing something? Can we concatenate 2 integers without adding and string? No, we'll have to add a string if you have to concatenate. Okay, you'll have to add a string.
What if you don't have the brackets and you add 20 plus 10 plus 10? So it will be still
Yeah, 20, 10, 10 it will print.
okay.
Okay. In Java, execution always starts from left to the right side, no matter what kind of command you are writing. Okay. So
Another question. So any questions we have over the weekend? Can we do the WhatsApp?
I'll give you on Monday after I tell you about constructors. I'll
No,
tell you.
until now, whatever class has
Just
happened.
do the oops, watch these videos. That's it.
Oh, sure. Thank you.
Okay. we are in the initial phase. I cannot give you so many things right now. After 7th or 8th class, I'll start giving you stuff. Okay. So yeah. So okay. All right. Then see you on Monday morning, which is Sunday
Ashish,
evening in US.
yeah,
Yeah.
one more question. When do we get, a particular, say, in one of the questions you give ABC A1 equal to, right? When we are defining like that, if we see an error like, ABC cannot resolve. So when do we get an error like that? Like, what does that mean?
I'm not remembering the question. What was it like? I'm not remembering the question. Um,
The
like
URL is not open, but say like ABC A equal to new ABC function.
okay.
And then give me one moment.
Give me the URL.
Yeah, it's not open actually. So I
I'm
submit
not having the quiz URL with me right now.
The system.out.println a answers
Just give me the
system.out.println.
quiz URL and the passcode. I'll open the quiz on the
Thank
chat.
you. Give me a second.
What was the passcode?
It's 241983.
Yeah, which one?
I, if you scroll down, I think it is a
Question number?
yeah 10 or 12.
This one.
Yeah. So if I copy this code into the into Eclipse, when I get ABC is not I get an error at that line ABC A equal to new ABC, and it says ABC is an unresolved type. Something like that had come. So what does that mean? What could have gone wrong?
You have written the code wrongly in
Okay.
that case. There's no other point.
So okay. So
Yeah.
when we are declaring, we can use any alphabet or anything, right? As long as our functions are in place and they are all well defined,
Yeah, that
it's
is you
good,
can
right?
do. The syntax has to be correct.
Okay.
You
Okay.
have done some syntax mistake in that case.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. Just, this is, I never wrote the lines over here. I pasted the image because I want you to write the code. Otherwise, in the
I
earlier quizzes, people used to copy the code.
Yeah, no, we I actually typed everything, so it was like
Yeah, if you type yourself, then only you learn. Okay, so that's why I put up the image. So just try to do it. Do not a problem. Just spend some time over it. And I think I also have given some hints. Once you submit, I think hints will also come up that whether it is correct and what is the issue. Okay. So, all right, fine. So let's meet on Monday. Yeah. Okay then.
Thanks, Ashish.
thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Thanks, Ashish.
Thank you, Ashish.
Thank you, Ashish.